All right, good morning, traders. All right, this guy is coming down and cracking here. Sorry, I could not get the stream going any earlier, or the live commentary any earlier. I've had calls with banks and my real estate agent. The house we went and looked, the three houses I was supposed to go look at yesterday ended up all three being sold before I got there, unfortunately. So I'm on the hunt. I'm on the hunt. I'm willing and dealing. My APLD swing working out really nice. Pop up to 130 so far. Very nice. Not moving super fast, but that's okay. This is OTC stock with that blockchain press release the other day. Getting a nice pop from that 50 cent area all the way up to $1.31. Yeah, again. No, like seriously, again. I was supposed to go see the houses at 2 o'clock. At 11 o'clock, my agent calls me and says, "Hey, two of the houses sold. One of them still left. We'll go look at that one at 2." So I'm like, "Okay." At 2, we're going to get in the car to get going, and he calls me and says that one just sold too. So that's four houses in 2 days that sold before I could even get in the damn car to go look at them. So today I'm trying to make some things happen quicker. I keep getting beat to the punch. Yeah, exactly, John. Man, the real estate market is insane right now. It's tricky, but a lot of I would say if this cracks this 220 area, I'm getting out of here. Uh, but I would say because of all the uncertainty, because real estate is an asset, a lot of investors are trying to put their money in a safe asset like real estate. Because even if the housing market crashes, at some point it's going to come back up. And certain neighborhoods and areas, if a market crash does happen, is not going to be that dramatic of a crash because some real estate just holds value better than others depending on neighborhoods and all that. So there's a lot of buyers and a lot of people are learning that they can work from home and have learned that the past year, so they're moving out of the big cities and moving around the outskirts and stuff, and that's kind of where I'm looking at. I'm not trying to be in Milwaukee. I'm in the Milwaukee area. Like I'm in the outskirts of Milwaukee as it is, but I'm looking for something a little bit further out than I'm currently in. Plus, the area I'm in right now, the property taxes have went up insanely, and I'm trying to go somewhere where where the government's not trying to take all my money for owning a house. They already take my money for everything else I do. Yeah, it's all the markets. That's what I've been saying, guys, the last couple of months. The stock market, the crypto markets, precious metals, all the markets are full of volatility right now because there's not any investors or any economists that are on the same page. Like everybody is all over the place. Nobody knows what's about to happen. And I really think that cryptos are the wrench this time in the economics of everything, because before, like 2008, cryptos wasn't really a thing. So everybody just went to precious metals, and commodity ETFs or whatnot. Or at least the smart people did. But this time around, there's cryptos, and the cryptos to me are still in a bull run. Like, I see people freaking out on social media saying that cryptos are going to crash. And if you look at the charts for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, or any of the altcoins, really, I mean, they're all on bull runs still. None of them are down. None of the cryptos are down at all. I mean, they're down short term, yeah, but over the long term, I mean, everything in my portfolio is at least up 20-30%, at least, and those are the low numbers. I mean, I'm still up thousands of percent on other cryptos. So, I mean, a little healthy correction in the crypto market, I don't consider that a crash. I just consider that healthy movement. Well, I've been calling for the stock market to crash here for the past couple of months, but it with the feds doing all they do with all the money printing and stimulus and all that, it's like you can't really tell. Like, the market should crash. They should let everything crash and correct itself. But they're politicians and they won't do that. They do not want to take the blame for everything crashing, because that's what'll happen. But they're talking about doing this Green New Deal now, which I think Biden's new Green New Deal is like 2 trillion, and then AOC and Bernie Sanders is like 70 trillion, which both are terrible. But 70 trillion is just insane. That is insanity. Like, we're in 30 trillion in debt already. We're just gonna go to 100 trillion in debt and be okay? Like, nah, 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 nah. Nah, that's crazy. So, but like I said, I don't know. The manipulation of the feds and the government of the markets it's hard to tell when anything's going to crash. And what is going to crash and what is not going to crash. But that makes a stronger, to me, that makes a stronger case for cryptos, because that's something the government and the Federal Reserve can't manipulate. So if they can't manipulate it, then you can tell, the price action and the supply and demand is going to be what is the only driving factors in the crypto market. And I would rather take my chances with pure supply and demand, pure free market, than my chances with government bureaucracy and Federal Reserve money manipulation. Well, my position is fine. Like I said, if it drops any lower than that, then I'm getting out. At 220 area is my stop loss area. I'm just giving it a chance here to see if it's going to break back above that support. If that support's going to hold up. Yeah, maybe. The problem is, every country in the world would have to agree to forget all that debt, or all the major countries would have to agree for that debt to go away, because a lot of our debt is to the other countries. Like the U.S. is not in debt to just itself; it's in debt to other countries. So if all the countries that we're in debt to are like, yeah, we'll forget it, then that could happen. But more than likely, especially with Biden and them pissing off Russia, China, and North Korea, I don't know how willing they're going to be to forgive our debts. I mean, what is broke pre-market high One Life? This stock, it's not doing much. That one's broke. That's a good break. Pre-market high. That one's broke pre-market high, but it's not doing anything. But the problem is, how do you even find? How do you even find this stock? What was the one that broke? Like, how this is not even going to show up on your scanner in the morning. You're not going to know that this is going to break pre-market high till right here in this first 10 minutes. So it's not even going to pop up on your scanners. Like it's popped up now after it's ripped, but at that time that was not on anywhere on any of the scanners. So it would have been like there's nothing else breaking pre-market high. I only trade stocks that I can see. I mean, how did you trade that stock? Did you trade WBT or W whatever it was? WL. Let's see, what was it? It was Skills. Did you trade this? Because if you did, I'd like to know how you found it before it ripped. See, APLD making a little triangle. Little flag there. It may be getting ready to make another move up. This is about to crack. I'm about to get out here. If it drops below this 215 area, that's it. Why would you be able to find that, John? If you're scanning, why would you? I mean, unless you're gonna. I mean, it had a little pre-market gap up. I mean, I guess you could have found it looking at maybe looking at a pre-market gap scanner, but it had no volume whatsoever in pre-market. like it's easy to see this now and say, oh, I could have traded that, but you know, you didn't get volume till right here, and it was in the downtrend. So like, no, there's like, why would that even show up on anybody's radar? Why would anybody even be looking at that? There's no press release. There's no nothing on this. There wasn't a jump in after hours yesterday. This was on a downtrend all day yesterday, and then in after hours it just went sideways. This pre-market gap up might have been a tip, but then after it got rejected here and then went on this downtrend, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no reason why anybody would have traded this. It's even below all indicators in a massive downtrend on the daily chart. Like, there's no reason why I would have saw this in pre-market and been like, yeah, this is going to rip. We're just in a choppy market, guys. Like this play could have very easily broke out when I got in there. This was a nice U shape right here. This play easily could have broke out. It didn't. It got hung up at 250, had a fake out break up to 260. You know, I could have locked that in and made about 12 cents a share, but I was looking for the breakout and it didn't break out. But that's the market we're in right now. It's unpredictable. In a hot market, this trade would have worked 8 out of 10 times. I'm going to go ahead and put a stop loss in at 214. Right under that 215. APLD not doing too much at the moment. Let's see what else we got going on. Yeah, Jamie, but even if you lower it, look, here's why I'm saying this. Because even if you lower your volume threshold and you put it to 50,000, all right, and we'll scan on the NASDAQ because that's where that's at. You're going to get a list this big in the morning. So how am I supposed to go through this in pre-market to find that one? Let's see, where is it at? What was that ticker symbol? Skills. I mean, stocks like that, there's not really a way to find them that early. You could have found it after the first little breakout, but before that, I mean, you would have had no inclination that this was going to break over the pre-market high. None whatsoever. Like even right here up to the bell, even right here, I wouldn't have guessed it was going to break over pre-market high. This was strong resistance. Literally, this is the same pattern that this pattern had. But this has PR. Yeah, if you lower the volume down any, the list will still be pretty big. Like it won't be probably quite as big as this, but it's still going to be pretty big. And I mean, looking at stocks that only have 50,000 of volume in pre-market, I mean, they're not going to be doing much. That's what I'm saying. This was pushed up by institutional investors. There's no retail traders who pushed this up. There might have been retail traders getting in it now, but back here, you all of a sudden you went from no volume to millions in volume. That's institutional investors buying this and buying it because it was so low. It was okay. I just got stopped out on BBIG, getting stopped out there. Little loss. But I'm still holding my swing here on APLD. Still in the green on it. It's just a OTC, just not doing too much, but that's okay. Like here's another perfect example. Timber. Timber's below all indicators. It's bearish. Pre-market high was sideways. So, looking at if you take this chart and you look at this right here, say if you did find this stock in the morning on the scanner, or you found it, why the hell would you have this on your watch list? There's no PR, there's no volume in pre-market, there's no pattern, it's even barcoding sideways. The only point you would know that this is going to break over that is right here, when it does break. But before that, there's no reason why you would be in this. There's no reason why I would even look at this. No, I'm not arguing with you guys. I'm just telling you, it's a lot easier to say in hindsight, like, oh, you should have traded the pre-market high rippers. Well, there's no pre-market high rippers that would have been on anybody's watch list. Like, there's plenty of pre-market high breakers that's broke the pre-market high, but there's no patterns, there's no nothing. I mean, this is 5 stocks right here that look the same. None of these you would trade. And you can't tell me you would because you didn't. I know you didn't trade none of these stocks in pre-market because you wouldn't have saw them. So it's not an argument at all. It's just, I mean, I don't know. You guys, I don't know why you guys want to argue with me so much lately, but I'm done with that. If you guys want to have an actual debate about this stuff or a debate about trading, you guys, Daniel B, One Life, you both have invites to come on the channel anytime and debate me. I've offered you guys multiple chances. One Life, I know we're working it out. Our timing's been off, but Daniel B especially, I've offered you multiple chances. And just like Daniel B telling John he should trade different stocks. Well, why? If John's making money. In fact, Orlando, I don't know if you're in here, but the other day you were saying that you were doing better with the more mid-cap stocks, the ones that are a little bit more expensive. If that's working for you, stick to it. Don't worry about anything else. Whatever works for you, stick to it. If you're making money, that's the only thing that matters. Doesn't matter about everybody else's opinions on your trading skills. I'm not making an argument at all. Like I said, I'm done. You guys are welcome to come and debate me, bash me, talk all the shit you want on the chat on a live stream. The invite's there. Because one thing that I don't like about this is trying to have a conversation with you guys or a debate like this is a little tricky because I can talk and you guys can only text, and for me I can't read what your emotions are or anything behind your text where you can hear what I'm saying. So I don't know, I don't know how your tone is coming off or anything. The way I'm talking is how I talk. I mean, I'm not fine. I'm chilling. I'm sitting here chilling. Like just because I disagree with you doesn't mean that I'm, butt hurt or anything. But you guys, some of you guys, you say shit and you like there's no other way. Like you say shit like your way is the only way. You know the way. You guys are Mandalorians. You're like, this is the way. And you won't look past anything else. You just automatically, this is the way. That's it. This is the way. This is the way. This is the way. Like, I totally get your buying pre market breakout or a pre market high breakouts. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not knocking it. But I'm not the one telling you that the way you're doing it is wrong. You guys are the ones who are telling me that I'm wrong with my trading, which I've admitted multiple times that there's work that needs to be done with my discipline. Oh, boys, 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 boys. You guys are great for entertainment. Well, the real estate thing, that's not. I am a little irritated by that, but not to the point to where like I don't get butt hurt over things. Like I'm such a laid back guy. Like, but when I'm getting needled every day by the same people about my trading strategies or my trading decisions, like I need my hand held. Like I've not been doing this for 6 years. One Life and Daniel B you both have been in the stock market less time than I have, and y'all are needling me. you know, it's like you guys do your trading, and that's good. I don't knock you for the way you trade. I know you guys are trying to help me, but just because I don't use your strategy or like your strategy, that doesn't mean that I don't appreciate the help or appreciate the stuff. But it's fine. Like I said, it's not. This is not anything new. When you've got the microphone, when you're on the camera, it's a lot easier for people to point the finger at you and say you're doing it wrong. And I accept all that comes with the YouTube journey. I am a peaceful hermit, monk, trader guy. I'm just a guy. Yeah, Daniel B, you told me you've been trading for 4 years. You didn't say you've been trading for 12 years. So I don't know. I mean, if you told me a different number, that's on you. But never did you tell me 12 years. You said you traded less than that. So, but I'm not even going to argue with you about your numbers and what you say, cuz half the shit you say is off the wall anyway. You compare cryptos to tulips. Tulip maniacs. These maniacs out here for tulips. Anyway, let's get back to some stock trading. Or stock talking, at least. That's what you guys are here for. Could be a possible breakout on WLMS. Doesn't have a lot of volume, but going sideways. This little consolidation area. It's up at. It's possibly pushing new highs though. 450 is going to be some resistance there. OCGN, what are you looking like? Is a decent little. Actually, this is cracked up trend. So nothing there. Now, what I've been noticing is it seems to me that anything that's moving in pre-market is selling off during the day. But I've been seeing some decent rips towards the end of the day. Daniel B, it's okay. I believe you. You've been trading longer than me. That's fine. It's irrelevant. I don't need to see your Thinkorswim or any of that. Bull flag right here. Triangle on skills. Skills is probably about to get this breakout over 450. So possible trade there. Only problem, like I said earlier, it's under all indicators, so it is bearish. So it could get rejected at that 15-19 area, but it does have room to break out of this up to 15, so there might be 50-60 cents possible there. Mogo going straight up. That's a ugly little rip. WBT with a gap up. What's that, Daniel? What's that, Mike? Oh, there's trolls even. Oh yeah, yeah. You especially with crypto, man. You wouldn't believe the trolls. If I do a crypto live stream, good God, I get trolls like Daniel B and One Life have been part of the channel for a long time in the community. They just like to needle me all the time. But if I do a live stream about cryptos, oh my God, there'll be so much BS in that damn chat. Hit me up on WhatsApp if you want to make $1 million. Hit me up on this. Hit me up on that. One Life was busy that one night moderating the chat. He couldn't even do anything else. He had to stay busy keeping the scammers and stuff out. So not a lot of volume on this. It did have that triangle, did break out of it a little bit, but nothing. I mean, at least not a lot of volume on a lot of these stocks that have made moves. Let's see, the SPY did get a rebound today off that 9 EMA. I was kind of expecting that. If it doesn't hold up here, it's got a ways to drop. But we have a downtrend started on the SPY, so we'll see if it can break over that downtrend of 415 today and keep on its bullish run, or if we're going to have another little correction. The big boys are red today and everything else is green. So you are getting an attempt at a breakout here. Looks like it may fail. It's really struggling to break over that 1450. I am going to put this on the watch list, but it's a very big float as well, though. 395 million shares, and it's $15. So actually, this probably isn't going to move that much, even if it does confirm this breakout. I don't know. It moved pretty well earlier, so it could. Oh, you just gotta deal with it, man. Anytime you do anything and you're in the public eye, there's gonna be judgments and whatnot. And as I say that, you see right there right after that, Adelaide saying the anti-crypto trader video sucked. So you're at what is your question? Are you asking if you should be getting in stocks during pre-market, or are you asking if that's when you should start looking? If you haven't yet, Mike, go watch the starter guide. I have a 2-part starter guide that'll help explain a lot of stuff, and then in the playlist listens, there's a lot of stuff. playlist lessons. There's a lot of stuff too, but that 2-part day trading starter guide will help you with a lot of questions. But just let me know. Yeah, yeah. If that's what you were asking, Jamie's pretty much right. It's usually best to wait about 30 minutes after market open to take trades, especially as a newer trader, because the first 30 minutes, or the first hour, which John calls it the fool's hour, is so volatile. A lot of times you don't. I don't know. Consistency is not there. It's not been there for a while in that first 30 minutes. I actually am probably going to hold off why this market is the way it is and start waiting 30 minutes before I actually trade. I know I jumped in a trade today, but I saw an opportunity that met all my criteria and I had to take it. No, Daniel B. Let him paper trade first. If you don't even know how to, if you're not familiar with Thinkorswim platform or whatever platform you're using, let them paper trade and get used to the app, the platform. Like if you don't even know how to use the platform and you're throwing real money in there to make trades with, that's crazy advice. Like once you've got a good feel of the platform, then start with some small amounts of money and trade. Like you don't need to paper trade for a long time, just long enough to get a feel of the platform, and then do what Daniel B's saying. So that telling somebody not to paper trade when they're brand new to the market is like telling somebody to get in the car and drive without ever driving a car before. Like, oh yeah, just take the caddy, you'll be fine. Hop in there. I don't care if you don't know how to drive and you're blind in one eye and one of your arms is missing. Just go ahead and jump right in there and drive that caddy around. In fact, go on the autobahn in the Cadillac and push that caddy up to 160. No, I agree. I'm not disagreeing that he should start with a small amount of real money. I'm just saying while he's learning the platform, while he's learning the buy buttons and stop losses and all that stuff. I mean, you gotta take your baby steps. Cause why? I mean, yeah, you'll learn the hard way if you like I said, if you just jump in the Cadillac and try to drive it and you never drove before, you're definitely going to learn the hard way for sure. But you know, there's nothing wrong with taking a little time to paper trade and get a feel for it, and then switch over to real money. Yeah, so like I'm not, yeah, Orlando, exactly. Like I wasn't disagreeing with what Daniel B was saying. I'm just saying when you're that new of a trader, I'm pretty sure Mike is pretty new. You got to learn the platform. Like that. Even though I'm experienced, if I like when I got on Voyager app for cryptos, I didn't automatically go put money in and start buying stocks on Voyager right away. I took some time to figure out the app and how it worked and the best way to use it and stuff like that before I put any real money into it. Same thing with Coinbase, same thing with Webull. All the different accounts that I have and use, like you gotta take the time to figure out the actual software before you throw money in there, whether you're experienced or not. Because you don't want to run into a situation where you're using a platform and it has some weird notification box or something, or you get on a platform and accidentally set it up as a margin account and you didn't realize it, and then you get in a trade and the stock plummets and you accidentally use the margin and you blew up your whole account because you didn't realize that you set it up that way. There's a lot of different things that can happen with software. But yeah, I mean, you don't have to paper trade you don't have to paper trade forever. Just a month or something. Just get used to the software and then throw $50 in there and trade that $50 and see if you can get it up to $100. If you I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, Daniel B. I don't know how you're that's just crazy talk. 24 hours a day, Daniel B. You ride your bike an hour a day, so you're not even telling. That's not even truthful what you just said. That doesn't make any sense. How could you be studying and trading every day for 24 hours or doing anything? Well, Tesla's got something with the Neuralink. Well, let's check that out because I like to hear when Tesla has something with the Neuralink. They're supposed to, isn't it the Neuralink? Dogecoin market cap surpasses Ford and Kraft. So, interesting. Back to the crypto being garbage discussion like Daniel B likes to have. What do you make of Dogecoin having a higher market cap than Ford and Kraft? Goodness. Dogecoin, the jokiest of all the coins, has a higher market cap than Ford. And you think it's Tulip Mania. Well, the whole population has dropped in California, so that would make sense. I don't see anything about the Neuralink, though. I want to see that Neuralink stuff. Tesla getting a nice bounce off that $700 area. Yeah, there's nothing really going on right now though. Couple stocks just going straight up. Oh, the Neuralink, yeah. No, I didn't say Doge was going to the moon. I'm just saying you keep arguing that cryptos are tulip maniacs. It's a bubble and it's going to go away soon. But yet the jokiest of joke coins is doing better than Ford. A 60-year, or maybe, well, probably what, 70-year, 80-year maybe. How long has Ford been around? Since like the 30s or 40s, something like that. Maybe 20s. I think 30s or 40s, maybe 50s. I don't know. I wasn't alive back then, so I don't know the exact date, but I know they were around in the 50s at least, I would think. They got to be around the 50s. I think 40s. For some reason, 1938 is popping up in my brain for Ford, but I don't know. I don't know the exact date. $100? Okay, so it was even longer than I thought. Look at there. Look at that. You'll never know how the markets trade if you don't understand how they work. Well, how do you learn how they work? I study everything. There you go, guys. There you go, right there. $1,000 course from Daniel B. I just study everything. I have no real answers to actually tell you, but I can tell you what you're doing wrong. And once again, oh, to prove my point of what I've been saying, you don't study everything because you refuse to study blockchain. Even if you don't want to trade cryptos and you're trading stocks, you still want to kind of study blockchain because there's plenty of stocks that are blockchain related stocks, especially when you're day trading. I mean, every day now we're starting to see companies come out with NFT platforms, different crypto solutions, blockchain hardware solutions, all that stuff. So, like, I study everything, but I don't study crypto. Your knowledge abounds. It's amazing. 1903. 1903. How about that? Thank you, JD Morris. I knew it was back in the early 1900s, but I just couldn't remember exactly when. So Dogecoin has surpassed the market cap of a company that's over 100 100 years old. So Daniel B, you just told Orlando that you don't study that you study everything, and then and literally in 5 minutes later you turn around and say I don't study blockchain because it's not for me. Well, then you don't study everything. So you just literally contradicted yourself. But he is giving good advice as far as go back, study history of economics and the markets. See why the Great Depression happened. You're going to have to dig a little bit because the government likes to hide what really happens. Like I say, one of the best things you can do, and this is just in general in life, whether you're going to be a day trader, a swing trader, a long term investor, a precious metal investor, a crypto investor, whatever type of, if you're going to be a Pokemon card investor, whatever type of investing you're doing, learn economics. Learn, because once you learn economics and the first thing you need to understand is supply and demand. That's the first thing. Supply and demand is what rules everything. Once you learn about supply and demand in depth, supply and demand economics, then you can look back at history. Because if you look back at the Great Depression and you get the information that you get, you're still going to be a little fuzzy. So you really need to learn economics first. And like I said, this will help you across all aspects of your life, learning economics and finances. So like learn how the tax systems work if you can, learn credit, how to use credit to your advantage. Credit is a double-edged sword. Most people are scared of credit and they cut their heads off with credit because they don't know how to use it. But if you are an entrepreneur and you need working capital, credit can be used as a weapon to make things happen that you may not be able to make happen on your own. Yeah, blockchain is definitely going to. I agree with that. If the government allows that to happen, right now the government is pretty power hungry, so I don't think the government would allow the current government anyway would allow for blockchain to be the way to vote, but blockchain would be the perfect way to vote because there would be no security fraud. If you did voting on the Bitcoin blockchain, it's never been compromised. There's a ledger of every single person who votes, so you could easily go back and make sure there wasn't any of the F word or anything else. You could do so. I mean, it would just make it such an easy process, such an easy process. But whether that'll get adopted or not, that's the thing too. When you're studying about past economics, you'll see most wars in the past have not really been about what the history books talk about. There's an underlying theme of money, and that's why I always say money rules everything in the world. And when you're looking, and I'll answer the question about how do you find out more about how the big investors play the market. Well, one, go listen to Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street. He's a real guy. He has a YouTube channel as well. He'll tell you on there some of the secrets. If you've seen Wolf of Wall Street, that's the type of stuff the big guys do. The Wall Street guys, they do hoodoos, they do pump and dumps. Just like they pulled with the Dogecoin yesterday. The news media was pushing Dogecoin. Dogecoin was going to go to the moon. Dogecoin, the Doge Day 420. And what happened? Dogecoin didn't do anything. It dropped some. So that was just the media trying to manipulate, probably backed by some investors trying to manipulate Dogecoin prices, get people to buy it and jump up. And then they tried to dump it on them. But they really can't control cryptos, like I've been saying. It's just supply and demand, and because there was a lot of hype and a lot of demand, they weren't able to really drop Dogecoin that much. But that type of hoodoo is the stuff they do all the time. That's what the big investors do. Big investors don't buy. I'll show you. I'll give you an example. The number one thing is big investors are spending millions of dollars, right? They can't just, or billions of dollars. They can't just buy into a stock regularly. Like we're trading, 50, maybe 1,000 shares, depending on how your account is, of cheaper stocks. But they're trading millions in like Tesla. And they have computer algorithms that trade it for them. But these computer algorithms are smarter than all of us, smarter than all the retail traders. And because they're moving such big amounts of money into stocks or ETFs or whatever they're investing in, they are putting that money in little bits at a time with the algorithm. So that's why you see, sometimes you'll have like just regular sideways consolidation and then a big pop on Tesla. So basically, institutions were loading up on Tesla back here, and then you got a big pop, and the institutions probably sold some right here, and then they started putting money again when it started going sideways and hold up, and then it popped again. But institutions and big investors, they're not buying Tesla up here at $900. They're not buying Tesla right here at this top of 650. The institutions are going to be in before you. They know more than us. They have algorithms that statistically trade for them. Like, they have control over the markets. It's the same thing I was saying with GameStop. When the whole GameStop stuff happened, I was saying whenever the market or whenever media is shaking a fat, juicy steak in front of your face, you do not want to take that steak. You want to go look to where the prices are low at, because when they move their money from like Tesla, where we see this money right here moved out of Tesla, this was a move from 900 to 540 in a span of a couple of weeks. And this is a ton of volume, and Tesla's got a pretty decent sized float. So this was not retail traders that dumped this. This was institutions dumping Tesla. And probably because they didn't like that Elon bought 1.5 billion in Bitcoin, but they slowly started dumping it off there. And then if you look, and this is why I've been saying, this is why I've been bullish on gold and silver. You look, right, when this drop started happening, February 5th on Tesla. Let's look at gold. What started happening at gold a little bit after that? Look at that. Not even 2 weeks later, all of a sudden, little bits of money started going into gold stocks and silver stocks. So if you cover up this half of the screen, and then we go back to Tesla. Actually, I'm going to show you side by side what I'm talking about. Let me go to a yearly chart. Oh, I spelled that wrong. What are you doing? I want you to unlink that. Alright, so there we go. We're on the daily chart. So gold, right now, this little pattern, what does this look like? Looks like Tesla back here, don't it? About the exact same damn thing. So retail investors are not buying Tesla right now. Or not retail, but institutions are not buying Tesla at the moment. Maybe a little bit, because it did dip quite a bit right there down to that 500. You might have some, but majority of institutions were getting back in Tesla back here. And now you start to see the same type of pattern happening on gold. Same thing, GDX, another gold stock, exact same pattern. AYU, exact same pattern. KGC, exact same pattern. BTG, exact same pattern. AG, exact same pattern, which is silver. So the institutions are ahead of you. That's what you got to know. They're ahead of you. They're smarter than you. And all you basically, I would say probably the best strategy that there is out of any strategy when it comes to anything is buying low and selling high. It's the old adage that comes with day trading and all stock market stuff that everybody always says they make fun of. Buy low, sell high. But you talk to any investor who's been around for a long time, they will tell you that buy low, sell high is what they've done most of their life, and it's worked out for them. So while everybody else is paying attention to Tesla, gold and silver has been in this big downtrend and now is starting to break out of their downtrends. Blockchain palm scan to buy your groceries at store. I've already seen crypto ATMs at multiple gas stations around me. Adley Trading Monkey, I don't know what Trading Monkey is. AI trading and bot trading, if you can get a good algorithm, then yeah, there's nothing wrong with bot trading, especially cryptos. But there's so many garbage bots out there that people are trying to sell. You're going to have a hard time finding an actual legitimate bot. Daniel M., you're a website developer, so you probably have experience in coding. You could probably code your own bot. And you can actually code in Thinkorswim. Now, I don't know. I'm not a coder, so I don't know really much about how to do this. But there is a way, and I'm trying to remember where it's at. Let's see. There's ThinkScripts, which are coding scripts, and you could set up a bot on Thinkorswim. I just don't remember how to get to it. Does anybody else know how to get to that? I know it's on here. I just can't remember how to get to it because I never use it. Because like I said, I have no idea about coding. But if you could code your own bot, is it ThinkLog? Oh no, it's not ThinkLog. Okay, that's my note thing. But there is a way to use ThinkScript to make little programs and stuff within Thinkorswim. But yeah, I mean the algorithms, the bot algorithms are what the big institutions are using. Warren Buffett has an algorithm that trades for him. You know, many of the billionaires have algorithms. And they don't even touch their portfolios. They have teams of people who are using the algorithms to trade their portfolios. They're not sitting at a computer like we are when they trade. They're not even paying attention. Are you sure, Adelie? There was ThinkScript. Did they change? Did they take ThinkScript off? Maybe they took it off. I'm not sure. Like I said, but they used to. The scanners where the ThinkScript is. BBIG coming back above 220. This does have pretty good, it's got launch of NFT PR. So I'm expected maybe to see this move in power hour. You see APLD is just currently holding above $1. That's fine. As long as it holds above $1, I'll hold it. There used to be the ThinkScript. You could pretty much make your own program. Maybe they changed it because they did. TD Ameritrade did sell the Thinkorswim platform to Charles Schwab, and I know things have been changing on the platform, so that may have been something that got changed. But before it would just be you could just open a window and you could just type in whatever the coding would be for whatever you want and set it up. So I don't know if it's changed or not. It's a very good possibility. Yeah, H&H Trader. Actually, Coinbase has a crypto credit card coming out that gives crypto back rewards. I've been on the waiting list for it for a couple of months. And there's other ones besides that. Crypto.com, they have the debit card. I think that's probably the one you saw the ads for. But not only that, there's so many projects in crypto right now. If you look at the DeFi projects, which is all decentralized finance, I mean, there's literally projects that are loaning out cryptos for mortgages. They're doing mortgages backed by crypto or whatever. Like, I mean, it's insane what is going on with all these different new projects that are coming in. A lot of cool stuff with cryptos, that's for sure. And even if you can't code in Thinkorswim anymore, or if you never could actually code a bot, uh, there's ways. I'm sure. I mean, all Thinkorswim is code. Anything on the internet is code. So if you know how to code, then you can do whatever you want to with some programs if they don't have crazy firewalls. So it may not work with Thinkorswim, but you may be able to build an outside bot that attaches onto Thinkorswim. There's a lot of different ways with coding. My wife has been learning coding as a side thing for the last couple of months, and she's able to do pretty much whatever she wants on a lot of different things. Hey, that'd be great, Daniel M. If you can get a bot that works, that'd be awesome. bots. I mean, like, I would love that if I could set up an algorithm that traded for me, and then I could go do the rest of the other stuff that I do on a daily basis, and I didn't have to sit here. I mean, that's more efficient. That's more time. Because here's the truth about everything, guys. I'm gonna drop some. I'm gonna drop some seeds of knowledge from the far up grape tree, of grapefruit tree, whatever. Anyway, pay attention to this. The most valuable asset is time. Time is more valuable than anything else. Because time you can't get back. Whatever you do with your time, that time is now gone. So if you're watching cat videos on YouTube, that time, the return on your when I think about this, I like to think of time as the most valuable asset and as an investment. So like with my YouTube channel, I've put a lot of time into it. I've invested that time, and I'm trying to get returns back on that time. But if I was watching cat YouTube videos all the time, well, you're not going to get any returns by watching cat videos. So that is a negative investment of time. You're losing that value of time, because you get a paycheck if you work for somebody. If you get a paycheck, the paycheck is not what you're being paid. You're getting paid dollars, but those dollars represent something. Those dollars have no real value. Those dollars represent your time. So you are trading your time, you're investing your time into a company to get that paycheck, to get that return for your time. So you have to think of things like that, especially time, as an investment, because you're never going to get it back. So you need to optimize your time to the most that you can. Like Daniel B talking about reading books and studying 24 hours and all that. That is good investment of time. Learning more about economics and learning more about finances is a good investment of time, because you're going to get a return on that. You know, it might take you a couple of years, but if you understand how to use credit, then you can start moving very fast, because you got access to other people's money. So if time is the most valuable asset and you're trading your value for time, you need to make sure that you're getting optimum value for your time. And what I like to do, which is the Robert Kiyosaki Rich Dad Poor Dad ideology, which you see the book in my background when I'm on camera, is instead of using my own money that I traded for time, because time to me is the most important asset, I like to use other people's money to invest, because time, their time that went into making that money, and I'm not talking about like a regular person on YouTube trying to sell them a course or some shit. I'm talking about like getting a HELOC, a home equity line of credit, or a line of credit from a bank. Well, they've traded their time for that money, but I haven't traded my time for it yet. So if I can take their money and turn that money into some more money without having, putting any money into it and putting any time into it, then I've able to skip over investing my own time, my own value, and invest somebody else, and then just profit the returns off of it. So it is a rant. Sorry for the rant, but that is life. That is the universe. That is the world we live in. Where if you don't value your time, then that's fine. I mean, that's up to you. Like I said, if you want to watch cat videos all day on YouTube, that's up to you. But don't, when you're doing that type of stuff and then you're bitching about being in poverty while you're watching cat YouTube's on videos on cat whatever, you're watching videos or shit, you're investing your time poorly, and you're bitching about being in poverty. Well, you know, that's kind of your fault. Even if your situation was systematically put there or whatever, you have the chance to take your time and try to make it into something else. I mean, the system's broken. There's no doubt about it. But if you take the time to learn how to use that system to your advantage instead of letting the system bend you over and give you the Lil Nas X Montero, then then you know, you'll be able to change your life. But a lot of this is perspective stuff. Like, we're taught growing up that savings and working hard is the way, or at least I was, that working hard 50 hours a week, good paying job, have a savings account, that's the way. That's the way that you're successful in life. What I found out in my experience is that is horseshit, because you're trading all your time. You're going to work your entire life for somebody else. So you're going to trade all your time for maybe maybe a nice middle class house and a nice car, and maybe you're comfortable with that. Maybe you're comfortable with that. But I'm not knocking that. What I'm saying is, I'm not wasting my time trying to do that. I'm trying to use my time to optimize to make as many different income streams as possible. There you go, H&H Trader, showing you how to get to that Think script. Elvis, I don't know options that well. Really, I don't know options hardly at all. So I can't really explain to you the covered call options. I'm not exactly sure. I stay away from options in Forex. Maybe somebody else can help you with that question, but unfortunately, I just don't have any knowledge on it. I dislike options. You just took a dab to the face? Nice. So once again, we're here at this time of day again, and I'm not seeing much going on. Everything is sold off. And this is what I was saying earlier this morning. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Skills is consolidating right now. That could come to, let me put it on a 5-minute. Yeah, it's consolidating. That could be a big, or it could be a decent breakout later. Here, probably in a little bit. If it can hold in this and push back up to that 1450 area. That's where it's getting hung up at. Other than that, though, BBIG might be coming back alive. If it can break the downtrend here at this 225, it might can get a move up to maybe back up that 250 area possibly. But what I've been noticing myself is that more of the plays seem to be ripping in power hour, the last hour of the market, or in the after hours right after market closes. That's why I kind of been noticing a lot more of the rips being at instead of in the morning. The morning, it seems like everybody's selling in the morning, and then after everything dips for the day, people are buying back into the market at the end of the day. All right, Daniel M., have a good one, buddy. I do have to go. I do have to go. I've got 2 houses to look at today. Hopefully, I'm supposed to be going in an hour or two here. So I got to get ready to get all my paperwork and things done for the morning. Hopefully, I can make it to these houses before they sell. Because I swear, if I try to get in a car to go to these 2 houses, my agent calls me and says these houses are sold. I'm gonna come in this stream tomorrow and I'm gonna tear Daniel B a new one like he's never been teared before. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do that to you, Daniel. I love you, even though you're the community troll. I love you anyway. I appreciate that. I'm not really looking for a dream home. I'm looking for an investment property. I'm looking for something for tax benefits purpose because real estate is another big jewel for you guys. I've said it before, but real estate has the best tax loopholes. They have the best tax benefits. And especially with the Green New Deal and all this renewable stuff, if you get a house and you can throw some solar panels on it, you're going to get tax incentives for that. You get tax incentives for all the interest that you pay on your mortgage. There's a lot of tax incentives that come along with owning real estate. And then, of course, if you can turn it into a flip or a cash flowing property, then that's even better because if you flip a house with a mortgage, this is one of those things where I know a lot of people are like, you get into an actual mortgage to flip a house? Yes, and here's why. So let's say a house is $100,000. You're going to buy this house to flip it. This is going to be the first example. If you go with $100,000 cash, that's fine. You own the house outright and clear. But now when you sell that house, you've got to make sure that you sell it for a good bit over that 100,000 to get all your money back. Plus that 100,000 is going to be locked into the equity of that house until you flip it. Okay? If you take a mortgage out, like if you do an FHA where you're only putting 3.5% down and you're planning on only keeping that house for 2 months, well, 3.5% of 100,000 is only what? $3,500. So instead of investing $100,000 of my money, I'm going to take $3,500 of my money for this $100,000 house and then use the bank's money and then turn around and fix the house up, add some value into it, and then flip it. So now my initial investment, say now that we fixed the house up either route that we were going, and we're going to sell it for 160. So we're going to have 20,000 in profit. Well, for that 20,000 in profit, if I would have bought the whole house straight out cash, well, that means I invested 100,000 and 20,000 in profit is only a 20% gain. On the vice versa, where if I do with an AFHA loan and it's 3.5%, it's only 3,500 and my return is 20,000. Well, I've only invested a little bit and my return is actually over 100%. So mathematically, it makes more sense. And like I said, back to the value of time, it makes more sense to try to go and use the bank's money to flip a house. Now, you can get in trouble. There is risk if you can't afford the monthly payment on a flip for a couple of months or maybe 6 months. I mean, you always have the risk that the housing market drops or that the house just doesn't sell for whatever reason. So, I'm just talking in general terms right now as far as the options of buying and flipping. The house range I'm looking for is pretty much anywhere from 100,000 to 300,000. It depends because I'm not looking for anything specifically in particular other than opportunity of investment. So like that same example I was using for the flipping the house, well, you can do the same thing with renting a house. Say you find a triplex for $100,000. Well, you could buy that triplex straight out for $100,000, or you could buy that triplex with the FHA loan. Now, if you do that, you will have to live in one of the units with the FHA loan for a certain amount of time, but you still have the other two units. So if your mortgage, say on that $100,000 property, is $500 a month on that triplex, and you're charging $1,000 for the other two units, so you're making $2,000 a month off of renting the place out, and you're living there for free. Well, the $500 a month minus your $2,000, that's $1,500 a month cash flowing, and you're basically living on the property for free, which is what I've been doing in this current triplex that I'm in. So I don't have nothing. I don't have $100,000 invested in this triplex. I have my initial down payment investment, which I've already gotten back out at this point. So I've used the bank's money to cash flow more money than I had to start with. So if you've not read Rich Dad Poor Dad, if you're going to read any book, read Rich Dad Poor Dad. That will change your whole outlook on finances and life. That out of any book you read, that book right there will be the best book to change your mind state. Well, yeah. See, and this is the thing. You're paying $1,500 in rent right now. See, you're making somebody else. You're building else's wealth by renting. Now, maybe that's the only option you have, and having a nice living space, because that's something I incorporate when I was talking about time as value. Another way to look at it too is, where are you spending your time? Like, if you only care about money, if your only goal is to make more money, that is fine. But do you want to be living in, and I'm not saying anybody is doing this, I'm just using this as an example. Do you want to be living in a rundown trailer park with rats and cockroaches and crackheads running around for 10 years to try to make $1 million? Or would you rather be living in a nice, decent house that you own, that you can pull equity out of for other investments and stuff, and be living comfortable and only make $500,000 in 10 years or whatever? I mean, that's a pretty low goal for 10 years, but still, point being, because your time is valuable, do you want to be miserable while you're trying to get rich? Or do you want to be a little bit more comfortable and it take a little bit longer to get rich? Or get wealthy, I should say, because I don't like using the word rich. Because getting rich gives all the insinuations of everything, like all the stuff that you see on all the ads, like get rich now and all that makes you think, oh, you can do it really fast. And the whole point of this channel, and the point behind the name Framework Fortune, is because you don't just get wealth. You have, unless you're lucky, but me, I've not been that lucky in my life to win the lotto or win anything for that matter. I've also made a lot of bad decisions. But what I've learned is to build wealth, you have to actually build it. So you start by building the framework for your wealth, and then you build on top of that framework and keep building up. So it's a building process. And if you look at it like that, instead of, oh, I need to get to $1 million right away, if you think of it more like, okay, I need to get to $1 million as soon as possible, but first, how do I get to 50,000 so I can take that 50,000 and put it into other investments to grow that to 100,000. Okay, so you got to build that block. Whatever your 50,000 that you're trying to make, you got to build a block for it. That block is a new income stream. So how are you going to make that income to get to that 50,000? Then once you got that, you build another block on top of it, and you're just continually stacking your little wealth blocks until you have a lot of wealth blocks. And voila. Now, it could take a year. It could take 10 years. It all depends on the person, their circumstances, their opportunities. You know, I've been looking for a house for 6 months. I would have loved to have been invested in a house 6 months ago when property values were quite a bit cheaper than they are now. But that did not happen. So like I said, for your first place, if you want to live for free, buy a duplex or a triplex. Live in one side. If you don't mind having neighbors, live in one side, rent the other side out. If it's a triplex, rent the other two sides out. And that way you've got free mortgage, and you know, they're paying your mortgage, plus you'll be able to pocket cash every month. And that's the thing. Say you do get a duplex, and you're only making, after all costs, after your mortgage is paid, after everything is paid, say you're only netting $200 in cash in your pocket every month off of that real estate profit, right? It doesn't sound like a lot. But remember, if you win FHA, then you've only got 3%, 3.5% down. So you don't have a ton of money into it. But that $200 that's cash flowing every month will show that that property is a net positive property. That's a net positive investment that is giving you a positive return every month. So the next time you go back to a bank, you could wait a couple of months, wait maybe 6 months, and then go back to a bank and be like, hey, I want to go buy another house for me to live in. Here's my triplex that I've been living in. It's been cash flowing every month, and if I move out to a different house, that's another unit that I can make $1,000 a month. So now my income can go from $200 a month to $1,200 a month off of that investment. The banks will look at that and be like, oh, yeah, we gave him money. He took our money, and he's making more money off of it. So now we're all happy. Well, let's give him another loan. Let's see if he can make more money for us. You could literally do that and house hop duplexes and triplexes until you have 10 triplexes in a day. Well, I don't know exactly how much I'm putting down on the property. Hell, I got to get one. I got to get to see one first before I even know the numbers, but my number range is anywhere. I'm going to be putting probably 5,000 to 10,000, maybe a little bit over. I'm figuring with closing costs all in, I'll probably have about 13,000 invested, because that's about what it cost me for this place, for this triplex, and that was $260 when I bought the triplex, and it was like all in 13,000 that I've got in it. And like I said, I've already got that back out of it, so. Well, when you're renting to people, you're gonna have them on a contract, a rental contract, just like wherever you rent at. If you rent an apartment or whatever right now, you're on a rental contract. So you'll have your tenants on rental contracts, and then the banks will look at your bank statements of where that money's flowing to, and see the rental contracts, and then they can put it together and say, oh, okay, that money is flowing from this property. That is a net positive property. That part's very easy. It's very easy to show. You just want to be smart. I mean, I'm giving you guys a lot of information here about real estate, but there's more nuances to it than what I'm saying, because I could sit here and talk all day about it. So you got to do your own due diligence, of course, yourself, and learn about the different nuances, because real estate is a the best asset to make people rich. Like, real estate investing has pulled more people out of poverty than anything else. It's one of the best investing things there is. But at the same time, with any investment, there's risk. So if you go into real estate investment, same thing with the stock market. If you go running in head first, like a crazy person, like I said, if you're driving the Cadillac and you don't know how to drive the Cadillac, more than likely you're going to crash. So you got to do your due diligence on everything. No, I'm not looking at a trailer park. And you can make fun of trailer parks all you want. My first flip was a actual mobile home. I've told the story before. The first flip that I did, my first real estate flip, was a mobile home, and I made about 10 grand profit off of that. So you can flip mobile homes. It is possible. Um, as far as what's a good price for a duplex, I have no idea. I mean, depends where you live or where you're looking. Like, every area is going to be different. Like, where I'm at, house values are anywhere from 200,000 to 700,000. But if you go 5 minutes across the street, the houses are selling for 140,000. So it depends on your area and each neighborhood. Like, that's what I'm saying about the nuances and the stuff you got to learn. It's the same, like, when you're investing in real estate, think of it the same way as investing in stocks. You're buying something low in return, in for something in return. You're looking for some type of return, whether the price of the stock goes up and you get that return, or you're looking for a dividend paying stock. A dividend paying stock would be similar to a rental property, because you're getting that monthly or quarterly income, whatever, however the dividend pays out. So same thing, looking at properties, every company, every stock company is different. Every area a stock company is at is different. Like, a company in California is going to have higher operating cost than a company in South Dakota, because California has crazy ass taxes. South Dakota has the least taxes, I think, in America. So that's going to be a difference just right there alone on the state level. And then when you get into each city, each township you can have one township right beside the other one, and the property taxes be totally different. So that's what I'm saying. You have to. There's a lot of nuances. You've got to study the market around you. Wherever you're looking to buy, you need to study that market. Like, I'm constantly, every day, just like Daniel B was talking about studying. I don't study the stock market 24/7. I study the stock market as much as I can. I study cryptos as much as I can, but I also study real estate because I like real estate investing a lot. This is a good little breakout. I don't know if anybody caught this breakout on skills here, but uh, you gotta take that, like I said, back to the whole time is value thing. You gotta invest your time and learning the nuances and learning your area is going to be very beneficial to you, because you don't want to overpay for a property. The real estate market is hot right now, and I'm not going to go out and just buy the first property that is available to me. I mean, that's why it's took me 6 months so far to find a property in this hot market, because I'm looking for a good deal at the same time. I'm not going to go out and overpay on a property. So, yeah, you're in Denver home. Decent homes are around 250K. Well, just do the math on it. Look at, if you're looking at a duplex or a triplex and say it's 250,000. Well, look what the average rent in that area is. Like, apps like Realtor. You can just put in Realtor on Google Play and pull that up. You can download that app. It's free. You can go and look at all the properties in your area, and it'll show you a price chart of the trends, just like a stock chart. It'll show you the price chart over the last 5 or 6 years, so you can see which direction the price of the home is heading. It'll also give you average square foot of price in that area, and then it will also give you, and if you can't find it on Realtor, there's other places you can find it, but you can find out the average rent for that neighborhood or area. So once you know how much the house is that you're looking at, you know how much investment you're putting in with your down payment, you know how much property taxes are, then you also have the number of how much rent are you, how much rent can you get for those units realistically. So once you have that equation, you can do all the math and figure it out. Is this going to be a cash flowing property, or is this going to be a negative cash flowing property? For 300K, I would say expect. Yeah, sure. I'll do a property review. I'll do that soon. I'm not going to do it today. Like I said, I really got to get going here real soon. But this is when I get on these rants like this. This is a lot of valuable information. And like I said, I apologize if you guys don't like this information I'm giving you, but I'm giving you very specific, valuable information. So, you know, whether you like, I know it's not really pertaining to the stock market, but investing is investing. But yeah, I will do like a review of how I look at Realtor and figure it and show you the numbers and stuff so you guys can see a visual of what I'm talking about. I'll do that real soon. No problem, man. There's all this information is out there. All the stuff I'm saying is out there. Like I said, if you have not yet read Rich Dad Poor Dad, go read Rich Dad Poor Dad. I do not like books personally because I just have a hard time reading books because I'm a dumb hillbilly or whatever you want to say, but I just don't like books. But that book is one of the very few books that I recommend because I've read it front to back. And it literally did change the way I think about money. And once you do read that book and you look at me, if you look at what I've been doing with the YouTube channel, the real estate, the crypto trading, the stock trading, after you read that book and you look at what I'm doing, you'll see, oh, that's why he's doing all this stuff he's doing. He's trying to get to where he wants to get. And this is the framework. That's his framework that he's built. That's his blocks of assets and wealth that he's built. So, everybody's path can be a little bit different, but the way you get there is pretty much the same framework. When you build a house, the framework doesn't change really much. The bracing and the joist and all that is going to be pretty much the same across most houses if they're built at the same time period, because that's the most stable, safest way to brace a house. Same thing with this. Your investment strategies and all that may be different, but the framework is going to be the same. The banks, the financial systems, all that is going to be the same. So you got to build your framework around the economy, around the financial systems, around the government, all of that, and use that all to your advantage while building your blocks. Sure, Daniel B. I may be the biggest idiot in chat, but I'll be an idiot sitting on millions of dollars here in another year or two. So I will take the name calling and insults all the time. Keep bringing them, baby. I love it. I love it. All you do is fire me up and make me want to buy more shit. I might go out. I might go out and buy another silver coin today just because you said that. I might add a little bit more to my wealth pile. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not. Daniel B's talking trash, but that's fine. It doesn't bother me. It really, like, people talking trash to me it doesn't bother me. All it does is fire me up and makes me want to make more money. Yeah, I really got to go too. You're trying to push me to the million mark. Well, I appreciate that help, Daniel B. You've really been a great help pushing me there. You got you helped me get this triplex and helped me pick out all my gold and silver and pick out all my cryptos that I'm up thousands of % on. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate your help. One life. Yes, you are correct. An investment property does take 25% down or 20% down if you fucking tell the bank that you're investing in the property. You don't tell the bank that. Why would you tell them that? You go FHA or conventional 3.5%. If you're flipping the house and you're going to be living in it, then why would you say it's an investment property? You just say that you're going to be living in the house, you fix it up while you're living there, and then you sell it. The bank didn't need to know that it was an investment. You're dumb if you told the bank that it was an investment. I literally did this with the house I'm in now. I am on an FHA loan in a triplex. I'm talking for experience. So if I sound dumb, that's fine, but I've done it. Right? So So, I know your soon to be wife One Life is in the financial sector, the loan parts and stuff, and you know a lot about that. But I'm just telling you. Yeah, you're not wrong, but like I said, if your name is on a current property and that property is cash flowing, then they're going to want to give you money for another home anyway. Like, you don't have to listen to what I'm saying or take what I'm saying and use it in your life. I'm just throwing it out there from my experience. So, well, One Life, see, here's the thing. I'm already pre-approved and already full approval for an FHA down for 3.5%. I'll send you the approval letter if you want to see it. Because here's the thing. I'm married. The current property is in my name. My wife doesn't have a property in her name. So guess who's going on this loan? Where there is a will, there is a way. I know exactly what you're saying, One Life. But like I've been saying, with real estate, with investing, there is loopholes. There is always loopholes. There is a way to make things work. You just have to be willing to find it. And that's what I'm going to leave you guys with today. So appreciate everybody joining me as always. We will be back tomorrow. More content coming out for you guys every day. Website will be done soon. Guys, have a great rest of your day. Stay safe out there. Until next time.